Breaking news, we want to report this time a major U.S. Supreme Court ruling coming down just a matter of moments ago right now, and we're learning that the U.S. Supreme Court has struck down the federal eviction moratorium. We are learning from the ruling, it says, quote, if a federally imposed eviction moratorium is to continue, Congress must specifically authorize it. And so right now, roughly 3.5 million people in the United States said they faced eviction in the next 2 months. That was according to the Census Bureau data from early August. The split ruling was 6-3, the conservative majority allowing evictions to resume across the United States. All three liberal justices dissented, Justice Breyer, Kagan, and Sotomayor. This was the second loss for the administration this week at the hands of the High Court's conservative majority. As you know, earlier in the week, the court effectively allowed the reinstatement of a Trump-era policy on immigration, that Remain in Mexico policy that essentially says any migrants who want asylum in the United States must wait in Mexico for their claims to be adjudicated. Now, this is the second time this issue has made its way to the Supreme Court. You'll remember back at the end of June in a 5-4 decision with both Chief Justice Roberts and Justice Kavanaugh crossing over to vote with the liberal justices. The court essentially said that the eviction moratorium could resume. Landlords had brought that case saying it was completely unfair, and this has been, for small and major landlords alike, a really, huge headache, especially, they can file for federal relief. It was included, billions of dollars was included in the American Rescue Plan for tenants, landlords, and renters alike. But many renters right now who cannot make their rent payments are surely uneasy about this ruling coming down today. And so right now we have just getting a statement in from White House Press Secretary Jen Psaki about this. Let's put this up on the screen. I'm going to read in part. She says the eviction moratoriums issued by the CDC saved lives by preventing the spread of the COVID-19 virus throughout the pandemic. The Biden administration is disappointed that the Supreme Court has blocked the most recent CDC eviction moratorium. While confirmed cases of the Delta variant are significant across the country, as a result of this ruling, families will face the painful impact of evictions, and communities across the country will face greater risk of exposure to COVID-19. Now, you'll remember there was a huge political debate about extending this moratorium, this ban on evictions, back at the end of last month in July. And so remember, President Biden signed an executive order extending it to October 3rd. Ever since then, it's been working its way through courts across the country. An appeals court upheld it last week, but now the U.S. Supreme Court is disagreeing with that lower court ruling. And right now, you'll know that this was all put in place because of the coronavirus pandemic. Many people lost their jobs. They could not make their rent payments. And so at this point in time, I want to read a little bit more of the ruling. They say if a federally imposed eviction moratorium is to continue, Congress must specifically authorize it. According to the Treasury Department, apparently the pace of distribution of federal funds has increased, and nearly 1 million households have been helped. But only 11% of the money disbursed via the American Rescue Plan, just over $5 billion, has been distributed by state and local governments. And almost $46.5 billion was allocated by Congress for rental assistance. So the rental and housing industry really thrown for a loop today as the U.S. Supreme Court issued that ruling just moments ago. And so we wanted to bring you that here on Live Now from Fox.